Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a long time. It's been so long that I've actually been demonetized by YouTube for not outputting videos every 4 5 minutes like they like with to meet their algorithm needs. So yeah, it's been a while, and I've come back to playing a little bit of tanks again. I'm pretty much stuck at home, and I have to work from home. So I figured I'd pick it up again and see how things have changed, and boy oh boy, I have no idea what the hell's going on. And yeah, I'm pretty bad. I don't know what I'm doing. And they've changed a lot of the maps, they've changed a lot of the front end. One of the things I've noticed they've changed the most was I can't take off my camo nets and my binoculars. I think that really sucks. I know that for other people that's probably been a thing for a while now, but for me, it's new and it sucks. It kind of, I don't understand. I mean, that was the reason why I play World of Tanks, so I can take off my camo net. But yeah, uh, I don't know what directives really are. I've seen there's something up there called bonds. I don't know what those really are either. I noticed that they've added like 10 million new tanks that I don't know what is what, and virtually everything now is some kind of screwed up autoloader. And yeah, that's been fun because I've died a lot from autoloader tanks and trying to figure out who does what and who's still making videos and who's not making videos and how I can figure out what's going on with things. I'm glad that Frontline is still around, but I don't particularly like that only about 7 tanks are used in there. It's like the Progetto and, well, what is the other one that's in there all the time? The horrible little wheeled vehicle, the EBR. I don't like those, and I think the physics for those are god awful. I don't understand how they how that got through how beta testing where you can have a vehicle that can drive around in a perfect circle without the back end kicking out on the bloody thing. I think that's kind of ridiculous. But yeah, the Frontline was kind of the reason why I wanted to come back, and well, I remember when I played it before, it was actually a lot of fun, and now it just seems like it's meta tanks driven by people that only want to try and grind credits, and I don't know. It's not quite as great as I remember it to be. I was kind of hoping that Frontline would be like, yeah, it's the reason why I want to come back, but now it's not around all the time. I was kind of hoping that that would be like one of the new modes they kept around because I guess they also got rid of team battles, which was one of the modes I like to play as well, and I'm assuming that that was probably removed because of some kind of abuse from players rigging games or something like that. I think that's why that got nuked, but I can't be 100% sure. But either way, my team battles are gone, and now the only other modes to play are ranked and frontline. So for me, it's kind of trying to figure out what modes I actually want to play and what's good and what's not good. And I did play about 7 games of ranked, and I had no idea what I was doing, and I got like just walloped. It wasn't very good. Um, but what I did find was when I was playing, after I played about 8 games, and I took out my new T110E5, which I bought because for some reason I had 10 million credits waiting for me when I came back. I don't know how those got there because I don't think I ended playing the game with 10 million credits, but it meant that I could get the T110E5, and then I was playing mostly the T62 and the Object 140, which I guess aren't really great tanks anymore. They used to be the tanks that everyone wanted you to have for things, for more competitive stuff like Clan Wars and things, but now I guess everyone just runs around in that super what's it called, the Chieftain or the FE something something, and yeah, I guess it's just got a invulnerable turret with no weak spots and amazing gun depression, and it seems like the meta for the game has really shifted to being hull down with hardly any weak spots or defender tanks and 252Us and things like that. And I've noticed that all my tanks are like the really old tanks, like tanks that were good like 5 6 years ago. Tanks that I like to play, like my E75, like that's definitely not a meta tank anymore. Like that, oh, everyone's needs to have the E75. And yeah, I don't know this map at all anymore either. It's completely changed, and they've flattened out a whole bunch of the areas, and I guess just turned them into tank destroyer kill zones. And here I try and take out this tier 10 tank, which I was doing good previously until I get nailed by him, and then I get nailed by a big tank destroyer behind, and I get dead. And yeah, this game was okay. I blocked some shots, and I did about 4,000 damage, and I was like, yeah, I actually did some damage this game, so I was pretty thrilled with that. It seems like I don't know how long ago it was. It was probably like a couple years ago. I guess they buffed the E75 and the E100. And this is one of the tanks I bought before I stopped playing for a little while here. It was the E100, and I guess it's a sniper tank now. Why do you need a Leopard when you can shoot clean across the map with your big 128mm gun? And yeah, I have a feeling that I'm probably going to end up playing ranked a fair bit, because I had some really good, fun, competitive games. And even games where I lost several games in a row, but I managed to still get into the top 1 or 2 or 3 on my team in ranked. And since I can't play team battles anymore, there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of other modes you can play other than their reconnaissance test maps, and that doesn't really seem to be anything other than just random queue, but with different maps you've never played. So that doesn't really excite me too much. Watch this shot. Oh yeah, bam. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna end up playing a fair bit of ranked, because that's the mode that I seem to have the most fun playing. Frontline just seemed like it was all just, I mean, ranked was probably all crown wagons and meta tanks and autoloaders and shit anyway. But I was still able to play it with my non-good tanks and still have fun and do actually pretty well. So I have a feeling that's probably what I'll end up playing quite a bit of. It's going to take me a while to learn some of the maps. Like this map here, this one hasn't changed since I came back, but a lot of the equipment has, and I don't even know what, like, I guess there's something called bond equipment now, and I don't really know what, I guess that's just probably better equipment for people who play lots of tier 10 or play lots of ranked. I guess that's kind of what bond equipment does. And watch this shot. It's total miss. Whiff right over the top. Boom. And yeah, so I'm trying to figure out all the different equipment. And I also noticed that some of my tanks just got turned into like museum pieces. Like I was grinding through and getting all the AMX like 30 tanks and thought they were really great. And it turns out they just got removed and put in a shop for where they don't want to deal with the tanks anymore. So that was pretty depressing. I guess they also decommissioned my T62, which was one of my favorite tanks. Yeah, they also screwed with all the tech trees. I also noticed that. And it's a bit weird trying to figure out what's going on. One thing I did do when I came back was I was able to actually finally finish and get the T28 tank destroyer, which I'd been not really concentrating on trying to do the missions for, but I did finally manage to unlock that. So now I can try and get my T55. T55A, I guess it is, because I do like the T54. It's one of the tier 9s I have kept, along with my Leopard prototype and my AMX30. I've kept quite a lot of them. I did buy the M46 patent, and I have the, what is it? The T110E5 is the, and I still have my M103. So I've got a little bit more heavy tank stuff going on now, as far as the higher tier things go. And this guy just would not back out in front of my shot. So I would turn, and then he would back out, and then I'd finally be able to wax him in the end there. So yeah, there's so much that's changed, and now I guess they actually have tier 9 premium tags, and I'm not really sure what to think about that, because when I play Frontline, I've actually noticed that a lot of the players are just playing with these reward tanks and premium tanks and overpowered Progetto type auto-loading tanks. And it's a bit weird to not see normal tanks anymore. Like I don't see T69s, I don't see I don't see any of the normal tanks, especially because that's the more of the tanks that I have. I mean, I do have a fair bit of premium tanks that I bought over the past 7 years, but uh, yeah, it's just been a bit weird seeing that things have changed so drastically. So here I didn't really want to get clipped out by that auto-loading tank because it's one of the tanks that I've seen and I know how much damage it can do in a short period of time. So instead of trying to drive across this area here, I just decided I had time, so I pushed this wreck across here until I figured I got to the point where he couldn't really damage me too much. So I took a couple more shots from him, and I still haven't really taken much damage. I think I took some arty damage because they changed artillery a bunch. And I haven't been getting one shot killed by artillery. I don't really like the stun stuff mechanics really too much. So I'm going to angle my tank. I'm going to pop this guy. But yeah, the stun mechanics are a bit different. I don't particularly like them. I do like that the equipment, your consumables, they respawn after a certain period of time, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, so this is one not amazing game or anything, but like for me in the E100, I'm still using the not Top Gun. I've still got about 20,000 experience to grind out for the Top Gun on this tank. So yeah, it's been really, really weird. So I'm gonna probably be putting up videos based on my experience coming back to the game, and that might be interesting for some people. And you can laugh at me and tell me some stuff that might help me in the comments. But this battle pass stuff is another thing that I don't really completely understand yet. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting coming back to World of Tanks after this long period of time. I just want to say thanks if you guys tune in or gonna watch. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers. Peace out.